Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got Jon Bellion, the making of Wash. Now, the making of series of Jon Bellion is one of my favorite series on the face of YouTube ever. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've revisited making of Human, making of Guillotine, making of like all the ones that he's made in the past. Like, I feel like I can contribute a lot of my appreciation and my love for like the music making side of things, like just appreciating what happens in the background, what people normally don't see, to the making of series that Jon Bellion has. And I think that I can speak for a lot of other people out there. It has just shined a light on a lot of the creativity that these artists have to have, you know what I mean? Like, they're able to see things that the normal person isn't able to do, right? And that's a true artistry, and not everybody can do that. And I think that's why so many people are so impressed by it. But I'm super excited. I enjoyed the song. I did a reaction to that. If y'all want to check it out, it's on the channel, and there will be like a at the end of the video, there will also be that video, so you can just tap on it and watch that. But I'm excited. It's 19 minutes long. I'm not gonna take too much of your time, but if you are new to the channel and you are excited for new Jon, make sure to subscribe, because we're gonna be checking it out here on the channel. Jon is one of my favorite artists of all time. So with all that being said, let's check it out.
You get a little more volume on that? I've had this thing. How do you prove a point about being a father while working all the time to put out a product about being a good father? Does the world even want to hear about that shit? Everything's fucking sexy, baby. Everything is the opposite.
Everything's about women. Everything's about these things that are very easily replaceable, right? Like the money, the glam, the jewelry, things like that. Now, so when I first heard this song, y'all can go check it out on the reaction, but I thought it was like a song to his wife, in the sense that she made him a better person. Like, all of the things that she has brought into his life wash over him and make him a better father, husband, and things along those lines. But we actually might, just based on the first minute of this video, might be seeing an act of his child making him the better person, washing over him. And it will do it to you. For those of you that are parents, know. But yeah, so I already kind of proving my theory on the reaction wrong, but let's continue.
Of the guy just that wakes up and goes to his fucking job and is trying to do right by his kids. How do you make that fall mean? What's my fear? That falls completely flat. That the whole world's like, I don't want to hear about no guy being like, being a dad is cool. That's and then
wait,
it's just being totally not landing, because you never know how culture lands. The only difference is now, with complete control and getting paid the way I want to, I can live and die by the failure. But the fear around it all is like, A, it either gets way too big where this whole thing gets out of control, or B, it's me sinking all of this thing, trying to prove a point about having my masters back to be in control of my own world. You know what I mean? Like, on those turnarounds, maybe.
So it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because it's like, now he's able to have that freedom to create, and he's okay with dying with the sword, in the sense of like, well, if his stuff that he loves to make doesn't hit, well, then it just doesn't hit. But now he feels like this like pressure to like kind of make it hit, because he's talking about how, I've been talking about, like, I haven't been able to make what I've been wanting to make, and now that I am, and people just don't mess with it, it's like, then again, I feel like Jon Bellion will always be okay with just staying true to himself. I think he's proven that. He's said it many times. He doesn't want to be famous. So
turnarounds is wherever that tag. Extend it again.
what's interesting is like artists like Jon Bellion that are able to hop on the keys and play these different instruments and kind of like brainstorm in that sense. I don't want to say it's easy, but I can understand how there will be like a natural way of falling into melodies or songs that you would like to make. It's what I find interesting is how do artists that don't typically like aren't true musicians in the sense that they play different instruments, how do they come up with their music? You understand what I'm saying? Like, is that just all in the mind? Like they just think about a melody and then they have to call somebody like, hey, I need this type of melody. And I, it just makes it to where like, because obviously this is extremely impressive, but like if you're a musician and you're constantly around instruments and you can kind of dabble with different instruments and melodies, you're bound to fall into like a song, whether it be a melody or lyrics or something like that. But I don't know, just thought.
It's about like constructing it around the turnaround spot, but it's like, where does it feel good to keep giving them that turnaround 3 times where it doesn't? You know what I mean? Yeah. You get crazy by the third one.
Who's this guy? Do y'all know him? First time I've seen him in a Jon Bellion video. So obviously we don't have the lyrics yet, right? Like we've seen this before. Jon just kind of trying to find a melody, trying to find a pocket in which he wants to go in the direction and just doesn't have the lyrics yet, and then kind of finds those lyrics as he goes. This is a very common theme in a Jon Bellion making of, which I love. I love when he finds the lyrics is my favorite part, because like he's kind of like just allowing the instrumentation to just take over him, and he just kind of like falls. The lyrics just come out of him, if that makes sense. But that's one of my favorite parts. So I hope we see that in this video.
Yeah, just think, even if I just like think about, my wife and kind of just spaz on the mic, and then we'll just plug in on the, you know what I mean? I've never done before. I've been dying to do it. Just to put just options as if I'm sampling it from an older song, but it's my own song.
Your vocal.
And then do the chop around whatever the scheduled turnaround is.
So let's just put the wash melody on that beat.
No, I'm saying leave the wash melody as the anchor point. Let's figure out what the wash melody is, and then chop in
Sick.
whatever the middle part is in between.
Yes.
He's recording.
Perfect.
Oh, here comes that melody. You see, like, it's so crazy how he has the melody before he even has the lyrics. Like, it's so crazy. Just right now, it's all gibberish, but those lyrics are just gonna fall. Like, just I can't wait for them to fall. So great to see the genius that is Jon Bellion like just come up with all these things, and like it's funny because like I feel like if I was in a room with my friends, I'd be so embarrassed to do what he does, right? Like just kind of like just throw out gibberish right now. But you could just tell how passionate he is, and he just doesn't care. He's in a space where he's just like, one, he's probably in a space where he feels extremely comfortable around these individuals. He's gonna surround himself with people like that. And two, he's like, I feel like, and anybody who's successful at anything at this level is gonna be like unwaveringly themselves, like just undeniably themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're just not gonna care about what other people are saying, because what they want to accomplish and what they're passionate about just overweighs that by a ton. You know?
As long as shit feels different as fuck. Right. So sick. Like just give them. Even if we provide the listener a palette that they're just like, what the fuck is going on in the first 5 seconds? By the time they get it, they never heard some shit like that in their life. Can you just get me? Can you take this off? Let me get headphones so I can walk around with this. Same thing.
We got it down to the car.
Iceland, right? This is shot in Iceland. I think I saw a post.
We'll get him a shot before. Right.
Being dad's actually hard. Staying married for 20 years is actually harder than being a pimp. It's like, okay, let me think different. I want to encourage that line of thought to change. So if my son listens to this when he's young, how can I encourage him to feel like it's cool to follow in the footsteps that my dad did, which is lay down his life to give a life to me, for me to do what I want to do. Sacrifice is cool. It's just not promoted that way.
That's so true, right? Like marriage is hard. Like we can't ignore the fact that marriage is a difficult thing. Like it's to share a life with somebody. It's hard to live life by yourself. Imagine sharing a life with somebody else who has some contrary ideas and things along those lines. But it's how life was meant to be. It's the purest way to live life. And especially if you bring children into the world, like that union is supposed to stay that way, because it's not meant to be tread lightly, right? So we need to be promoting marriage. We need to be promoting sticking things out no matter how bad things get, because that's just the way things were supposed to be, for the betterment of the child and the discipline, right? So many people are like just quick to throw those things away just because, oh well, like I want better for myself. Like so many people focus on what they want rather than what they need, right? And yeah, I just think that's very important.
So I'm like, shit, what am I walking into?
Yeah, go ahead. No, then.
Because every day, I don't have the father figure moving forward. I have the stuff from my father, what he's taught me, the stuff he's instilled. But then when you're a man on your own and you have the weight of the world on your shoulders with your wife, where you don't even tell your wife about your problems, you don't, as a man, you hold on to a lot. I want that whole entire struggle of what it's like to be a dad, all to be in an artistic package that feels accessible to everybody. It not landing in that way is my deepest fear. Somebody like coming out like wash over me, stem on your face, don't let it change like it changes. Lady, why I'm falling.
I love that.
It's gotta feel like this. Yeah, I feel like even if I just look outward and just try to encapsulate what this feels like and get lost in it, and then whatever kind of dumps out, we just figure out a way to puzzle piece it into the top line. That's like never how I'm operating. I feel like it would just come out super different. So great.
Sick.
And it's like, let that be the loop of the hook, and then I'm on top of that.
Such a beautiful piano melody, man.
And then that turnaround you did on the drums. That's like an A+ hook for an average song, you know what I mean? Keep that as the verse though. And when you flip back.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Let me say like on my love, on my steady fires. And flip. Every time we do the walk, even the tagline could be an octave down.
Oh my gosh.
Sitting on seaside like this. See like a flag, flown on a flame. And only flip at the end. Let it wash all over me.
I swear these making ofs make the songs 10 times better. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but like for me, when I go watch the making ofs, I just want to go back to the song and it makes me appreciate it way more. So much thought into like small pieces of the song, you know?
I love it if it extended each time, like you're saying with the Dave Matthews shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's weird. That's so weird.
see like I'm fat, mom. Let it wash over me. See like a dad from on me. Let it wash over me. See like a dad from nobody like a license. Let it wash over me. See like a dad from. Let it wash over me. See like a dad from anything. Nobody stand for my teeth like a diamond. Let it wash over. Can I get the mic?
Oh, we're gonna get the ambience of the outside going on?
And if I'm just kind of, yeah. Treat your body like a river wave. See you coming at me like a wave. It feels even on some like Bob Dylan shit. See you coming at me like a wave and fall hands.
No.
Treat your body like a river wind.
Which I don't think that makes the cut, right?
See you coming at me like a wave and touch me 12 ways. Stuck on the legs look like a million diamonds.
Yup.
And then let it wash all over me. On the third one, flip that. So, let me just get a bunch of the in-betweens. My son said to me the other day, he's all day he's saying, I don't need toys anymore. I don't need toys anymore. He said all day to me, I had no idea what he meant. I don't need toys anymore, Dad. He kept saying it to me. He was eating breakfast. Oh, by the way, Dad, I don't need toys anymore. He's 3. I don't need toys anymore. I don't need toys anymore. I put him to bed. He goes, you don't have to work anymore. I don't want you to leave me.
Wow.
I don't need toys anymore. I'm like, man, what am I chasing? There's no amount of cars I could buy to be present with my kid. There's no amount of number ones I could be to be present with my kid. Ooh, that's an album. But the world works in such an odd way where you look at what's promoted,
That's what I'm saying.
and you're like, sometimes I'm like, man, am I just going to the gallows of like people who ain't nobody want to hear about that shit. So I want to work overtime to make sure that this shit's raw as fuck. So when the producer hears it or whatever, it's like this is the Balmain level of trying to say that being a present father is important. It's like, how do you supplement the after-school special of that? But that's actually the truth.
That's so interesting and so great, right? Like his son's like, Dad, I don't need toys anymore because he thinks that his dad's working overtime, spending more time away from him to buy him toys. He thinks the toys are the reason for his absence. And so like, man, this is so interesting because Jon Bellion making this into an album, I don't know if a lot of people are going to appreciate it. Like obviously as diehard fans, like the people here watching, we're going to appreciate this, right? But I wonder if like the world is going to mess with it. And not that, you know, he cares or doesn't care. I mean, we're excluding that, but like I'm just curious like as an individual because I'm going to mess with it. I just really hope, because this is such an important message about fatherhood, right? I'm assuming the whole album is going to be about that in some way, sense, and form. It's such an important message. I hope that it touches a lot of hearts and reaches new listeners, people that need it. You know what I mean? That's what I hope for. And I know Jon Bellion doesn't want to be famous, but I just feel like a world with Jon Bellion's music is a better world. Like, I know that sounds glazed as hell, but like what he says is like the stuff he puts in his music is really genuine and purifying, and it's what the world should be hearing, as opposed to a lot of like the money, the women, the drugs. You know what I'm talking about. So I really hope this touches a lot of people.
I know a lot of CEOs with a lot of fucking money with some estranged ass kids. Not me.
Talk about it, John.
Let it wash over me. Let it wash over me. You know what I'm saying? We feeling whatever I was doing over looking at the. Let it wash. the chain. Leave the chain.
Stars on the leg look like a million diamonds.
That's this album. Leave the fucking chain sound in it.
Chain in the mic.
Okay, so that's interesting that he says that, right? Because I noticed on Kid Again, he says like, "Oh yeah, run it back." Like it's gonna be a very raw album if I had to guess, right? Like the mixing and mastering is I'm not gonna be lazy by any sense, but it's going to be there's gonna be nuggets of like the making or like it's not gonna be as polished just to like bring it home that we're talking about some real stuff here. Like we don't need to be perfect in this album in order for it to hit. Like we're gonna talk about some real stuff and people are gonna stay and listen to it for what it says, not for like the perfection of the production, right? So having some chains in the background or having some like, yeah, run it back isn't going to break the experience. It's actually going to add to it. You know what I mean? That's dope.
Leave that shit.
How you doing?
I'm good. Unfortunately, the shirt that looked the flyest isn't waterproof, so.
Oh, we just like drowning in a sea of just like attention. It's almost not even the music. It's like how good are you at keeping people's attention? And that freaks me the fuck out because I don't know if I'm willing to ask for that much attention. And I don't know if I'm willing to rack my brain hard enough to get that much attention on the music. Which then makes me feel like am I just getting a lot older and just like really not giving a fuck, which is dangerous. I've never been more confident in the music, but I've never been less confident in like how the fuck does one package this to make it seem poignant and important to get in front of eyes.
Wow. That's interesting. Here we go.
From a third point of view. Oasis in my arms, my wonderwall.
And it's feel me right, you feel me right. Like they record this I, and that'll be the turnaround on the drum shit.
Wow. So he's using the I as like a like it's an ad lib, but at the same time, it's like a homophone to connect the two verses, right? That I, and then he talks about instead of having to say I when he starts the next verse or the next section of the song, he uses the I that is the ad lib to move on, right? So it's like the I is the connecting to the two parts of the song. So he ends it by saying I, but he also starts it by saying I. Dope.
So cold.
I'm good.
So nice.
Watch, it's like right here. That. Sheesh.
Sheesh. That one. And just slip that like a bar before.
Yep.
I want to do a dropout and just keep that in there. I want to like. Let me listen back to that. Dropout of that.
It's hard.
Another insane thing is that there's only 3 people like overlooking this record. That's insane.
I don't even know if I want more information. Like, it's almost like second verse just instruments. Rock, can you bring up that
You sing the same melody.
what's the joint? 12 strings? Maybe you performing the original loop. I will trash all of this in 2 seconds, and I hope you feel that spirit in any song that's about you ever. Is that these are great songs, and they're great homages, but when it comes time to be an actual father, I'll actually do that. Rather than promote to the world how much I love you, I'd rather promote to you, and you believe how much I actually love you. I hope she gets that from it.
So like the song is so important. Like sorry. So what's in the song is so important. I would actually get rid of the song in order for the message to actually be true. That's almost too much to like understand. Oh.
That feels great. So just the second verse. That second verse. Don't think twice. Just
So out of the post.
So like that's just the first verse. It's crazy.
It's never panning it the right with doing two
Oh,
separate tracks.
right.
It's like
Like to be able to do this is crazy. I think that's the most impressive thing of being an artist is like, and any artistry is to be able to see something that isn't there yet. You know what I mean? Like the vision is probably the most difficult part. Allowing your mind to just like get through that block, you know?
have one where give us a back half. Start us 2 bars before the back half take, and then give.
So I'm actually like kind of surprised I'm gonna say this, but probably the most intimate Jon Bellion making ofs, and that's because like we're not getting a lot of the Jon Bellion making ofs are like higher production than this, but we're just getting like super raw, and all of them are raw. But like here it's just like Jon Bellion really just like bare bones, just 3 guys for the most part. Him talking a lot and just kind of like just expressing how important this message is, and especially fatherhood, which I love, and that that speaks a lot to me as a father of 2 children and hopefully more coming soon. This is a message that I hold very close to me. So, and it's something that I absolutely support. So, that's it, guys. Let me know what y'all thought about this song and the making of video as well. Do y'all have any idea when more Jon Bellion's gonna drop? Let me know in the comments below. There might be some lore that maybe I'm not connected to yet. So do y'all know when the album's dropping? Things along those lines. Help me out. I know y'all go crazy. So just let me know in the comments below. We'll be reacting to everything Jon uploads in the next few months. Hopefully the album comes out soon. But with all that being said, guys, appreciate y'all. We'll catch you on the next reaction. Peace.